What you talk about managing your vineyard for 4 to 5 months. I mean,
we have to manage it all the way along.
All the way along,
yeah.
right? What are some of the I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what are one of the biggest obstacles that you have to overcome?
Nature.
Normally? Just nature in general?
2010 was probably the best example of how challenging managing vineyards can be.
Right.
We had the coolest summer on record in over 100 years. I mean, it was in the 60s, it was foggy, it rained. So people were very concerned that the fruit wasn't going to ripen at all.
Right.
And then in October, it got up to 113 degrees and it just sat there. And people had started dropping crop and pulling leaves off so to get the fruit to ripen. And then with this super late, really intense heat spell, things just started cooking. So if your vineyard wasn't managed properly, there were losses of 40 to 50% of people's vineyards.
Wow.
And then after that, once the sugar gets up really high, then it got really wet again. So then all the rot starts. So there's fun molds called botrytis, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a really, really bad thing.
If you make Riesling,
yes.
Of course, and dessert wine.
But if you're making red wines, it's not the best thing ever. So a bunch of different molds that are coming in. So you just really have to go out on a daily basis and make sure that you're keeping track of what's going on, working with the vineyard manager, knowing exactly what your plan is in terms of picking.
Now, Chardonnay we're tasting right now, do you take this to any type of secondary fermentation
this
process?
This one's gone through about 75%.
75%? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's delicious. It's got a really nice finish to it. I get a lot more honeysuckle out of this as well. I mean, I didn't expect that. Right. Wow, that's substantial, the finish on this. I really like that a lot. Let me ask you this. Are you all expanding your production? I mean, do you have anything on the horizon, doing anything different as far as vineyard management, any cutting edge technology going on? Give us an update on the vineyard.
Well, what we did when we purchased Rancho Las Hermanas is we brought in it's sort of a vineyard consultant to the start. His name is Tom Prentice. He runs crop care. If you ever see the back of his truck and the binders and who his clients are, it's like you want to hang out with them all day. And he's also a great guy. We brought him in. He works as a consultant, and then we have a vineyard management team that goes out. We really tried to bring everything up to really world-class farming methods. Did a lot of replants on some sections that weren't as healthy, and we're able to bring Rancho Las Hermanas into the Foley family fold, which was great. So it just increased the amount of fruit that we had available. And we're not trying to increase, we're not trying to ramp up crops per acre, because that's not what we're about at all. It was just having more
quality
acreage.
Before quantity.
Correct.
For you all.
So in 2009 was a huge vintage. 2008 was one of the smallest vintages ever. 2009 was huge. So we're going from 4,000 cases of Pinot Noir to 20,000 cases, but not because we did anything to increase quantity. We started with the increase in quality, brought the new vineyard in.
Oh, that's great. As far as, what does it take to produce, and establish such great wine that you guys have always done? I mean, is it the team members? Is it the harvest members? Do you do a lot of consulting? I mean, how do you do it as a winemaker? Because I always like to ask that question of winemakers and just see what the day-to-day challenges are, and of course, how do you get to the end result? I mean,
it's all about the people. I mean, the wine is made. First of all, it's made in the vineyard, and I can ruin good grapes, but I can't make good wine out of bad grapes. So it all starts with the source material. We have a fantastic vineyard crew. We have people that really, really care about it. And with 2010, it was challenging to see how much heart and effort people put into things, and then to see the weather come in. But they put their all into making sure that we got the best possible source out of that. And then it goes into this, we bring it into the cellar. The cellar crew is amazing. They really, really care about what they're doing. And realistically, the people that do the vineyard work and the people that do the cellar work, that's who makes the wine.
Right.
I just get the credit for it. So I get to go out and be on television, but they're the ones that actually do all the work. And we've got an amazing cellar crew. We've got an amazing vineyard crew. I've got just incredible help. Everybody works together and everybody really cares, and that makes all the difference in the world.
That's awesome.